So, let's see you talk your way out of this one, Susan. Maybe you're right. I will believe in them when I see one. That's a proper position to take.
Maybe you're right. I will believe in them when I see one.
With this fog approaching fast, you might be in luck, Miss Ashworth. I am so glad I'm not spending another night outside. I might be a big girl now, but there will always be a part of me that is frightened, I guess. Did you know they actually have a name for it? It's called homiclophobia, fear of fog.
We are living in crazy times, Mitzi.
How are you planning to find this guy?
How are you planning to find this guy?
I don't know yet. A bit of detective work, perhaps. It shouldn't be that hard, really. There are only 8 apartments here. One is yours. That leaves us with 7. I was hoping that you could give me a hand, actually. You know some of your neighbors, don't you?
Probably not.
Not many. I never really cared about them. They changed over the years, too. You probably also figured by now that this is not the sort of place where new neighbors are greeted with a freshly baked cake. You see a new face, you give them a blank stare as you pass them in the hall, and you forget about them a minute later.
That bad, eh?
Well, there's that bull guy who lives above me in flat 5. He came here recently to shout in my face. He's a nasty piece of work, but I really don't think he's the person you're looking for.
What does he do for a living?
I think he's a train driver.
I can't imagine somehow that my guy would be a train driver. Okay, that's good. Leaves us with just 6. Anyone else you know?
I'd have to think.
You know, maybe
That's
not
hard.
tonight. Let's just talk about something else, okay? I have plenty of time. There's no need to rush this. Maybe tomorrow we could sit down together and make a plan. I could draw a simple map of the building, and with your help, mark down who lives where.
Sounds good to me, Mitzi.
You mentioned the boyfriend. Tell me something about him.
You mentioned a boyfriend. Tell me something about him.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about him. His name's Jack.
Sparrow.
He's dead.
Oh. Well, it was a long time ago.
Miss
So no
Ashworth,
wonder.
are you sure you want to listen about my miserable life? I don't want to bring you down. These aren't happy stories.
And I'm not a happy stories kind of person. I'm sure you've noticed by now.
Guess so. Anyway, I suppose I would have had to tell you about Jack sooner or later. After all, he is the main reason I'm here. I just don't know where to start.
At the beginning. How did he die?
How did he die?
Suicide.
How did he die?
I'll get to that.
Wait,
Miss Ashworth.
twice?
Let me just tell you more about him first, so you could understand what happened.
The news about your cancer.
How did he take the news about your cancer?
He thought I was joking at first. He laughed. And he got really angry. I swore to him I was serious, but he still wouldn't believe me. We had a big fight that night. It was our first and only fight. It was awful. He smashed some stuff. His guitar, of all things, was the worst. He loved that guitar. Why did he break it? He was absolutely furious. He walked out on me that night, and when he came back the next day, he was different. Begged me to try surgery and chemotherapy. I didn't really want those things, but I did the chemo for him. It didn't help. It just made me feel sick all the time. I felt trapped in this strange place where nothing that happened around me seemed real. Maybe that's why I didn't see what my cancer was doing to Jack, and it was destroying him as well. He changed.
He became the
obsessed
king of
with
maggots.
death. It seemed death was all he ever thought about, even though it was me, not him, who was supposed to die.
Tell me how you two met.
Tell me how you two met.
Oh, we knew each other for like forever. We grew up on the same street. It's funny how we seem to be made for each other. Perfect match. I always knew he was the guy for me, and I'm sure he never doubted that either. Jack was absolutely crazy about me. We thought one day we would marry, have children, be happy. I never had many friends because I had Jack. I didn't need anybody else. You know, if there's one thing I'm really grateful for in my life, it's that I got to experience this pure, perfect love. Some people go through a lifetime without knowing how it feels. I guess I've been very lucky. But all luck runs out sometimes.
Jack made those pictures on your wall. Was he an artist?
Jack made those pictures on your wall. Was he an artist?
He always liked all kinds of morbid stuff, whether it was music, movies, paintings. So do I, really. We had that in common.
So do I.
People say it's depressing to listen to sad songs or watch sad films, but I never felt that way.
And yet, you are scared of fog?
Oh, that's different. I might be scared of fog, but I like spiders. They're beautiful.
I hate them.
You must be out of your mind, Mitzi.
No, honestly, there's a certain indescribable beauty in sadness. Just like there's beauty in the grey and ugly winter morning when you look past the obvious and notice what others can't see.
You must love my apartment then. It's like Ugly took a vacation here and never went home again.
How did he die?
How did he die? How did Jack die?
It was so distant to the last few weeks before he died. What I didn't know was that he kept looking for something. I don't think he even knew what exactly. But it eventually found him. Or rather, he found him.
Ooh.
There are those forums online, you know, about all sorts of stuff. Fishing, computer games, horses, gambling, addictions, everything really. Accidentally, Jack stumbled upon one about suicide. There's a guy there, calls himself the Eye of Adam. He's a fucking god on that forum. It's like a failed suicide club. People mostly try to help each other and offer support. Sometimes it just helps to know there are others like you. To listen to their stories and how they cope with their lives. But the Eye of Adam is an advocate of death. He dwells on human weakness. His job is to plant an idea, to give them a reason to die and tell them how to do it, once and for good. Jack took the bait. Before he knew, he was completely brainwashed. One day he sat down with me and tried to explain his perfect solution. It was the Romeo and Juliet kind of scenario. We were both to die together in each other's arms. It was supposed to be a quick and foolproof death. There was no chance we would have been saved. All thanks to the Eye of Adam, who created a tool for perfect suicide. He told me it was very simple. All we needed were 2 easily accessible household chemicals, which combined together create a gas called hydrogen sulfide that kills you within a couple of minutes.
Bleach and arsenic, I
fucking
believe.
Nuts, of course. He just wouldn't give up. He reasoned with me, and he begged, and eventually just kept screaming at me. I figured it was his crazy idea of a modern romance, but it was downright tacky and just wrong. Finally, he said he would get everything ready and wait for me in our special place at dawn. 5 in the morning. Don't be late. Those were his last words he said to me. Then he stormed out. I cried for hours, thinking I didn't deserve all that from the person I loved most in the whole world. A few times I even tried to persuade myself that maybe he was right and I should do it. I just couldn't. I eventually fell asleep. I didn't plan it. My head was killing me. I was so tired. I woke up suddenly. I could see the sun rising out my window. It was nearly 5. In utter panic, I threw myself off the bed and ran out the door. I needed to stop him. I needed to get there before it was too late. But right there in my bedroom, before I even left, I already knew it was. When I arrived at our special place, it was already bright.
The pitch
To go
changed
there
a little.
fast, drink wine, sometimes smoke weed and listen to Pink Floyd, sometimes make love in Jack's car. There wasn't really anything special about that old parking lot. But to us there was. It was completely abandoned. It was quiet. It was safe. After that day, I've never gone there again.
Oh. So where is his car? Is it this one? Here? Oh.